How's it going, guys? Coach X here. Today I want to talk about heart rate based training. For strength and conditioning, a lot of athletes focus on the strength side, which is nothing wrong with that, but there's a whole nother layer that we must come to understand, and that's our conditioning level. Especially in the sport of water polo, where we play at 80% of our heart rate max and 80% of our VO2 max or higher the entire time. This is really going to affect our ability to play. There's even been studies showing the loss of skill due to poor conditioning levels, and this is very important for us to make sure that we are as conditioned as possible. So today I want to talk about heart rate based training. Here at the Academy we use Morpheus. This is a company created by Joel Jamieson, a world-renowned strength and conditioning coach who focuses on metabolic conditioning. For heart rate based training, there are 5 things we want to focus on. Number 1, resting heart rate. We want our resting heart rate to be as low as possible. A study has shown that we have about 3 billion beats in our lifetime, so the lower your resting heart rate is, the longer your lifespan. Mine is around 50 beats per minute at rest. I would like to see my own and other athletes get sub 50 into the high. Why resting heart rate is important is because this is a very strong indicator of how strong your vagus nerve is and it pulling the heart rate down. So your ability to recover from intense work is higher when you have a lower resting heart rate. Next, we like to measure heart rate variability. Heart rate variability is a measure of the R waves of your heart. So in ECG, the high peaks are your R waves. The difference in timing tells us how stressed out your heart is, again, with the vagus nerve. If the vagus nerve is very metronome, it'll be beat, 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 and it'll be less variable, resulting in a lower score. For heart rate variability, lower scores are telling us that your body is stressed out. Higher scores are telling your body that it is ready to go and primed for exercise. A low score would be sub the national standard. So for women, that's 35 milliseconds, according to WHOOP. For men, that's 45 milliseconds, according to WHOOP. So if you're below those, we are doing really, really poorly. Also, if you're below your baseline, right, this is something we want to take into account when we're training. You need, much data on this, so like one day doesn't really tell you everything, but if you have months or weeks of this, it'll tell you a lot. For water polo, I've seen athletes as high as 120 or 190 milliseconds. Next thing we need to know are our heart rate zones. How do you know where your heart rate should be if you have never tested it? It's impossible. There's a lot of metrics that say, that you should be between this beat and this beat, but what we have found through years of testing is that everybody's different, and you really don't know where your heart rate should be unless you've been tested. There are 5 heart rate zones. The first 3 are primarily aerobic. You have aerobic low intensity, athletic low intensity, and then you have your threshold, which is going to be a mix of sprinting and cardio. And then we have zone 4, which is going to be your glycolytic zone, and zone 5, which is going to be your ATP PCR zone. Then next one we really want to know about is our heart rate max. What is the max your heart rate can get to? If your heart rate max is lower than expected, then your heart is not going to function as well as possible, and likely your body is limiting how high your heart rate can go so that you don't hurt yourself, so that you don't exhaust yourself. Because what happens after metabolic fatigue is neurological fatigue. Number 5 is heart rate recovery. We want to know how quickly, after a minute of exercise, that you can recover your heart rate. We need at least 30 beats, or you're not fit for high intensity exercise. That's all I have for you guys today. Stay tuned for more, and remember, stay water polo strong.